Xerox VAD adjust alignment. After holding down the number key for 06 seconds, with your other hand, press the green start button. Then enter the password 6789. Determine selection specification registration settings. Click on maintenance diagnostics on the right, and then scroll down to locate. System positioning adjustments. The alignment of each carton is different and has to be adjusted. Then this one is adjusted with an A3 base. Now I'm adjusting a carton. Print out a test sheet first. Then the machine will come up with a map of the coordinates. If he shows up at the coordinates, side 2 will show up, and then he's the opposite. Side 2 is the reverse, and vice versa side 1 is the front. And then if you need to adjust the look, it's best to use an A3 sheet of plain paper. This way you can see the deviation between the front and the back. Depends on which way you want to go. Front end positioning up and down is adjusted up and down. Up and down is the larger the value, and then the higher the position. If the value is small, it's down. After you've clicked, I'm now trying to go down, and then after clicking through then tap the reverse side. Then print out another sheet of paper. Or do I get paper out of the first cassette if I set it up? Then look at the location. And then the paper came out of the cassette after I adjusted it. And then we have to check for errors. There's a bit of a discrepancy between the top and bottom of carton 1 and carton 2 right now. There is no error around. Without signing the case of our note this letter B, just adjust it up and down. Then we find the front single position. Numerically large. This image goes up. Going up the hill our eyeballing is a 1x1 distance. 1 microgram is 0.0 millimeters. So you're going to say that this is going to require you to tune in at the same time. You have to look at the size of the walking paper he's walking on. The opposite because we see the opposite. The reverse side also goes up a little bit to the top. There are no big numbers. I'll make sure it's closed when it gets bigger. After that, we'll play another one, because it's best to adjust the paper one corner at a time. We're at the point where it's basically working, but there's a little bit of a flaw. Now I'll teach you. Methods for vertical and left, right side positioning. The method is the same. Bigger numbers go to the left. Smaller numbers go to the right. Upper quartile. This image is to the right. If the number is small, the image is to the right. It's the same on the side and the opposite side. There's also a skewed main sweep. The main scan is skewed to look at our SAW and SB corners. There's an autocorrect. On the front, you don't think it's autocorrect. It's not autocorrect. It has only one front and one back with essentially the same content. It's an SAW line that says if you say your avatar is tilted to the left. If you want to lean to the left, he tilts to the left when you have a big number on your avatar. If the number is small, he leans to the right. Ditto for SB, who is like this to each of his is measured in tens. When you finished adjusting the default, it reverted to 10. SB is the same way. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're a big number. His head's running this way, to the left. Smaller numbers go to the right. The same syllogism. There's also a perpendicularity. Look at the perpendicularity. It comes from the corners of SA and SB. It's the same thing. Set as tuning the side of the number in a big arc upwards. Oh, it's tilted like this. If the number is small, he'll tilt it down. SB is this corner arrow. You're tilting the numbers upwards. The numbers are small and slanted downward. You see, people usually talk about vertical I. Let's just say the tilt is pretty much the same. And SFS, it's a multiplier. This is using the multiplier. Intermediate multiplier. Let's just say it feels like the image is zoomed in or out. If the front and back are not in the same position, you can adjust it a little bit. It's also a big number zooming out. The numbers are small and he's shrinking. There's also a negative scaling magnification. This is also a big number he enlarged upwards. The number hours have shrunk. It's the same thing. Usually after the first side is tuned, you use the first side as a reference and then adjust the second side. It'll make it easier for you to adjust. Otherwise, if you adjust both sides together, it'll get messed up. When you're done, you check and confirm, and then you type out a piece of paper and look at it. Just compare it to the previous one to see if it's worth it.